That's why I would never trade nothing for my mountain life.
Good morning, Brevard. I'm Scott Goldsmith. My wife Cherie's behind the camera. We are the owner-operators of Homestead Realty in Brevard and the sponsors of Park Bench. Here this morning with us we have Mike and Kyzandrha,
Yes.
and they are Gypsy Me, a music group that plays locally as well as, I believe, in Asheville and Hendersonville, right, folks?
Yeah,
And all around. Yes, they travel. It's good to have y'all.
Thank you.
Good to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourselves, your beginning, and where we're going.
So, we started, I've been doing music for quite a while, but this project, Gypsy Me, pretty much is rooted and started here in the Brevard area. So, we are folk Americana, old country, kind of acoustic rock, kind of a blend of all of those
Primarily
genres.
original music.
Yeah, primarily original.
Right
We put
up
in
my
some
alley.
covers every once in a while. But yeah, we try to play as much as possible in kind of a 3-hour vicinity of Brevard in every direction. So there's plenty of people to sing to and plenty of awesome breweries and venues around the area that really support a lot of good local music. So
It continues to grow as we go along. There's
It's
a new one
incredible.
pops up here and there.
yeah.
And we love to go to the earlier shows. I understand that they're going to be having a show December 4th
Yes.
that starts at 6.
Yes.
We'll be at that one. When they start at 9, it's all over for us already.
Yeah, we were the first year we started January 26th of 2018, and I'd say the first year we played primarily breweries and kind of later shows, and there were a lot of people that started hearing about us. But this year we got to play at the Gazebo on 4th of July.
That's great.
And just a couple outdoor venues, and it was great to have that audience that had heard the name but not the music get to finally hear us.
A little more diverse.
Yeah, a diverse.
Absolutely. Well, tell us a little, I think if memory serves, you said you guys have been here 3 years roughly.
It's about a little over 2.5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We started on the South Carolina side and did all of our work primarily in Brevard, and did all of our music primarily in Brevard. And then we've been down technically in the Brevard area for about a year now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, so they've had time to acclimatize, basically, I guess. You both originally came from Florida.
Yes.
Yeah,
Correct.
Tampa and Jacksonville.
Yeah, I lived in Jacksonville for 24 years. Originally from South Texas, but I lived in Florida most of my life, so kind of
Florida.
identify with that. But we both have families there, so all during December we go back to visit family for the holidays, and we'll do a whole tour
Bunch of
just
shows, yeah.
throughout the South.
That's great, man. I like to talk to folks that are from different places, especially with the music. It seems like you guys, of course, you're exposed to so many different kinds of folks.
Right.
And so you learn an area a lot quicker than most of us do.
And it's funny because, it changes so quickly within an hour vicinity. As I always tell her, we'll go out and play a show and a few songs will just really hit home for a lot of people, and we're like, oh, this is great, because tomorrow we play like an hour or 2 hours away, they're really going to dig it. And then it's crickets the next day for those songs, and they dig other stuff that we didn't anticipate. So
Right.
it's really funny how quickly the people can change, just over a couple of mountaintops,
I'm sure.
So.
Yeah, there's a little difference. Of course, the kind of music that you guys make, the folk and the old country, the Appalachian Mountains are a hotbed for that and have been since I was a child.
Right.
Yes.
The families here used to get together on Sundays, holidays. Everybody played the guitar, played the piano,
Right.
and everybody sang. And so the roots for that type of music here are deep.
It's amazing.
And you folks have got a genre that will continue to work for you here.
And we keep getting better at it. Before, I have different roots than that, but as I've been here in the Brevard area and just around and listening to more of, a lot of classic old stuff that people really, really like are deeply rooted here, then that just entices me to incorporate it more into our music. And there's a lot of places that I've been. I traveled for a long period of time, but Brevard is really a spot that I feel really, connected to. in the past, you'd go out to eat or go to a local business. I just feel like I'm wasting money or spending money. But every time I do it in the businesses here in town, I feel like I'm actually investing into the area. It's a whole new feeling for me.
It is, and I mean, he's, and we mentioned it just speaking with you all before, but anytime he goes on Google Maps and he zooms into something blue or green and wants to hike, I mean, here we're in the land of the waterfalls, and he's explored over 70 of them just this year alone. And he has his map, and he puts his pins on the map. But whenever he's out there, that's usually when he comes back inspired to write another song. And it has him thinking and really connecting with, what brought us here, what we're learning here about ourselves. And that has really come through in the new music, which I'm really excited, to release.
Well, it does. The area, and as artists, you already know the place that you live, the people you interact with, are always going to have a big effect on everything in your life.
Yeah.
And especially if you make music, I would think. I don't know, I'm the only person in my family that can't play song. So I have trouble turning on a radio. But as far as the old country goes, we're talking about Hank and Merle,
Yes.
and I wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
Yes.
We play Johnny Cash. We play
Merle Haggard.
We play Merle Haggard.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're incorporating more and more.
Yeah, and that was something, he didn't want to really learn covers before.
Right.
And then, through this project, and especially when we went on our cross-country tour in February, we went to a lot of places where, in Memphis, we went to Sun Studio where Elvis got his start and Johnny Cash recorded. And then in Tulsa, we went to the Woody Guthrie Center and really learned about his roots in songwriting.
She's a history buff. So
I am.
I've taken a lot of those things for granted just by listening, and I vaguely know stories. But when we're in these places and we're in there for a long period of time, she's really getting into it. I've grown more appreciative of the artists and their backgrounds, and to where I didn't give the time to really know their history and their stories and how they're rooted to other artists and things like that.
Yeah.
She's really dedicated a lot of time to that and made me appreciate it.
Right, because I think he's a great songwriter. His lyrics just really struck home with me before we started music.
Right.
And so now we're actually doing a tribute album to Johnny Cash and June Carter.
Wow,
and
that's another thing that's in the works right now.
It's been such a really fun project because, once we got going, it just started happening a lot faster than we anticipated. And so we're really excited to do a tribute to some of the great, deeply rooted musicians.
Well, those are two of my absolute favorites.
Great.
I always really, really like Johnny Cash. Still do, and I still listen to a lot of the old stuff.
Yes.
So that goes back into my childhood here. And back then, that was really all you heard.
Yeah.
You didn't, Elvis was just starting to kind of make his mark.
Right.
But music was generally, in this part of the country, you listen to it on the radio. I think we got our first color TV when I was about 10. And so prior to that, of course, you didn't want to watch it anyway. It was fuzzy. Had 2.5 channels. So, what, I know that you have future plans. Everybody has goals and things that they want to do and accomplish. Where do you see yourselves a year from now or 5 years from now?
See, that's always a tough question for me. So it's a balance for myself that I never want to know. In an aspect, I don't want to know where I'm going to be because that kind of, I don't know, it's kind of a buzzkill for me. I don't want to know everything. So
he's a day-to-day kind of guy, which has led us here.
With a ton of goals, though.
Yes.
I mean, personally, I have all the waterfalls that I want to photograph all of them. I want to do. I want to visit 100 countries. That's my goal. And after this year, I think I'll be at about 42. So
Wow.
like close to half of that within the past 6-7 years.
Yeah.
There's the travel goals. There's the music goals, which is just really continually putting out music that we have fun with and that we can just really, get it out to good audiences and, really connect with good people. I think a goal for the music is to continue to connect with good people, work with good people, because we're not necessarily about playing the best the best venues and with the best bands of all time. That's not really, at least for me, it's personal, is to really find people that are good individuals, whether the best musicians on the planet or not, is to really work with those people and boost those people and help each other out. So I think
that happened a lot this year. We really wanted to meet more musicians and work closely with those that we connected with.
Right.
And on our tours, we met a few, and we've shared a few shows with them. And we've also been we've been striving to bring some of the bands that we've met that are within the 3-hour vicinity and bring them to Brevard.
That'd be great.
So that's what actually we've done with the DFR room. They've been really great with us opening for a new band that we're bringing to town for the first time.
And we don't have any problem opening. I mean, I can open. We can open for people all day long. We don't need to be that bad.
And those are earlier shows. So
There you go. I was starting to say, the earlier y'all play, the more we'll see you. Well, is there anything else that we're missing or that we haven't covered that?
Yes, in mentioning the travels, we travel internationally as well as throughout the United States as much as possible, and we collect different stones, fossils, shells. We gathered some petrified wood on the last tour, which is really incredible stones.
Yeah.
And I make jewelry with it. He'll wire wrap some of the stones for me, and we'll work them into necklaces. And I'm actually wearing some of the jewelry that I've made out of his used guitar strings. So
every time I'm like, oh no, and then she's like, ooh, that's
I've got more to work with. But that way, we sell that merchandise at our shows. And so if people buy a piece, they feel like they're taking some of our travels, some of our music with them, and that in return will help us create more music, because we do record and master and produce everything ourselves. We're very DIY with our music and our projects, but people really feel like they have a one-of-a-kind piece when they purchase it.
And it's beautiful. It's beautiful jewelry.
Thank you.
We were talking about that earlier. One more question, and I forgot. Tell me, who's Gypsy? And
it all depends on the day.
Like I said, it depends on the day. Sometimes he's that, wanderer, and we've both gone through a lot of things in life that really just kind of push us to have that gypsy soul, is what we say. But on certain days, I'm more the gypsy, or he may be more the gypsy.
So you get to kind of rotate.
Yeah.
We do.
It's a good balance.
Well, of course, provided along with this video, we will have a list of dates that we hope you'll provide for us, as far as when they're going to be playing and where. There will be other information that we'll also include that'll tell you a little bit more about these folks. We have certainly enjoyed the interview. We've enjoyed getting to know y'all a little better.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
We appreciate you coming over and taking the time to do this.
We appreciate it.
And we would, of course, always recommend that you go out and listen to our local talent. These guys are going to entertain you, and you're going to enjoy the show. We've been looking forward to this interview for several days now, and it actually, for me, on a Saturday morning, it's been much more pleasant than even I would expect. So, folks,
thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Absolutely.
Thank you.
Down the road to our next show, from the mountains to the coast, and we'll play our songs till the lights turn off. Then we'll pack up and move on. But with you right by my side, oh, I know that we can make it. There's no doubt in my mind, you were what I was meant to find. Oh, it's the start